Alright guys, in this video we're going to look at Texas A&M's football schedule for the 2019 season. They started off against Texas State, the Bobcats. Who are they? This is at home. So that's a win for the Aggies there. They go to 1-0. Last year they got Clemson at home, but they lost by 2 points and they easily could have won. But this year they go to Clemson, second week of the season, and Clemson with Trevor Lawrence at the quarterback, a good offensive line, good running backs. They got a Heisman contender with Travis Etienne, and NFL receivers like Justin Ross and T. Higgins. I just don't think Texas A&M can stop Clemson's offense. Clemson is going to have too much firepower in this game. And even if Kellen Mond has some success, it's not going to be enough with Trevor Lawrence at the quarterback position in that offense. So, unfortunately, Texas A&M goes 1-1 there. And this schedule, guys, it is hard. Georgia, Alabama, Clemson, the top three teams. That's insane. Anyone who has a schedule, literally anyone besides Alabama, Georgia, and Clemson, is probably going to go 9-3 at the best, because they're going to slip up somewhere anyways, even if they do beat Alabama, Georgia, Clemson, which isn't going to happen most likely. Anyways, 1-1. They have Lamar the next game, the next week, and they go 2-1. Even if Texas A&M gets better this year, it's probably not going to show, unfortunately, with Clemson, Georgia, and Alabama on the schedule. This is pretty insane how hard this schedule is. And then they play Auburn, and I think they beat Auburn because Kellen Mond is going to run around, even though Auburn's D-line pretty much comes back fully intact. And that defense is going to be solid and a pretty good SEC defense. I think they'll still be able to get some points because of the quarterback play out of Kellen Mond. Texas A&M does lose their top running back that they had, so they're going to miss him. But I think Texas A&M, their defense will be close to what it was last year. I think they might take a small step back to what their defense was last year because they do lose some key pieces on the defensive side of the ball. But I think Texas A&M beats Auburn in this game at home. I think this is the fourth week of the season. Auburn, whoever they're playing, is going to be a first-year starter in the SEC, and Auburn's offensive line has been in the dumps the past couple of years. Well, in 2017 it was good, but since then, the last year was good was 2013 with Nick Marshall. So if Auburn's offensive line is good this year, I think Auburn could win this game. But with a first-year quarterback and an unproven offensive line, I have to pick A&M in this game. So A&M goes 3-1. A&M then plays Arkansas September 28th. And I think Texas A&M is too much for Arkansas. I don't think Arkansas can stop A&M. The rushing attack, I think A&M's offense will overwhelm Arkansas. So A&M gets the win there. They go to 4-1 with the only loss to Clemson, the number one team coming into this year. And then they get a bye week in preparation for the number 2 team coming into this year, but they get Alabama at home. This is a game where they have a slight chance to win. This might be Alabama's toughest game on their schedule because of the fact how Kellen Mond can run around. But it's just hard to pick A&M to beat Alabama when Alabama has such a good offense with Tua and 4 receivers in the top 70 in receiving yards coming back into this year. No other team has that. And they have Tua. So, I can't say A&M's defense is going to stop the Crimson Tide in this game. So I'm going to have to pick Alabama to win this game. So they go to 4-2 with their 2 losses coming to the number 1 and number 2 teams coming into this year. That's pretty insane. When they play Ole Miss, they have to go to Ole Miss. Now, this is a game that A&M could slip up because they've gotten beaten up from Alabama the previous game. And Ole Miss, they always have a good offense. Jordan Tiamu throw the ball around. He's very good. But I think A&M will hold on in this game for another win because I think the defense will hold Ole Miss up just enough, and the offense will score enough for the win. Simple as that. Next week, they have Mississippi State at home. I think that's another win for Texas A&M here. Same thing kind of with Ole Miss. I think A&M's just the better team. That's simple. Not much explanation there. Even though Mississippi State is going to have a decent team, per usual, I just can't pick Mississippi State coming into Kyle Field and upsetting Texas A&M. Then the next week, Texas A&M plays the UTSA Roadrunners. Never heard of them either. I maybe should look them up. But, yep, that's another win. Then a bye week. And then they play South Carolina. And I think this is a game that they will lose. Let me explain. I think Jake Bentley, coming into this year, he's going to have a couple games where he just shows out, shows why he's been in the SEC for a long time and why he's one of the best quarterbacks. I think that is this game. I think Bentley has a career game in this game. Kind of like he did against Clemson last year in the final game. I think he has a similar type game, and that's why I'm picking South Carolina to win this game, because Bentley will carry Texas A&M on his back. And then the next game, they go to Athens to play the Georgia Bulldogs November 23rd. To beat Georgia, you got to stop the run. That's first and foremost. Another way to beat Georgia is to have a mobile quarterback. You got to have good quarterback play. Georgia's kind of in that regard. Same with Alabama, because Georgia got Kirby Smart, which is from Nick Saban, and he's built the team kind of like Nick Saban. So you got to kind of beat them in the same way. Georgia, in my opinion, is going to be better this year with more havoc on the defense and a good offensive line, probably the best in the country. And people think their wide receiver play is going to go down. I think it's going to stay on par with what it was last year at least, because they've got very good talent in that position, but it is unproven. And I think Georgia is too much for Texas A&M in this game. Texas A&M takes another loss. I think the Aggies will be able to put up some points, but I don't think Texas A&M will be able to stop Georgia's offense. This will be a close game, but I have Georgia coming out on top because of the home field advantage and because of just how talented they are. Then A&M, coming off back-to-back losses, goes to LSU for the final game of the year, trying to go 8-4 and trying to avoid going 7-5 from what I'm predicting. So I think A&M will get the win here. Going into Baton Rouge, getting the win, I think LSU is just going to have a tough time stopping this A&M offense. And LSU's offense is kind of just plain. They don't do much, and I think A&M is going to have some success against LSU's offense with Joe Burrow at the helm for LSU. So I have A&M going 8-4. And that wraps up the video, guys. If you enjoyed the video, please like it and subscribe. Comment down below if you agree or disagree. I have A&M going 8-4, losing to the top 3 teams coming this year, plus South Carolina. Thanks for watching.